And the lead truck would end up getting hit on a mission, and they'd come to me that night and be like, hey, we know we're trying to pull you out of that truck, but the other guys got hit and we need to put someone back up front. Who would you recommend? Pick me. I'm ready to go out. That's what we do. You're responsible for so many people, and I'm just glad that the bomb hit my truck and took me out, not someone else that day, because if they wouldn't have chose to set both those IEDs off on me that day and would have hit someone else and possibly killed them, that would have been very difficult to live with. I joined the military at the age of 30. After 9/11 occurred, I was so affected by the events that I went home and talked to my wife and just said, I really feel I need to serve the country. The country's been great to me, and I felt I needed to give back. When I went to talk to the recruiters, I basically wanted to be up in the front, and I said, what's in the front lines? And they said it'd be infantry or combat engineer, and I went for it. Not many people want to go looking for bombs and disarm the stuff, but to me it seemed like a very good way to serve the country and help save lives of our fellow countrymen overseas. My first tour was 2004, 2005, and I came home from that tour. And when you're overseas, you can't wait to get home. And once I got home just didn't feel right to me, and I was having a lot of difficulties being home. I felt like I was letting people down that were over in harm's way while I'm sitting in the States. So I ended up volunteering and going back for a second tour. For us over in Iraq, if you ended up getting 3 Purple Hearts, then they pulled you off mission. And they would put you behind the wire, behind a desk. I'm personally myself, you either find the bombs or you get hit by them, and I've been directly hit 8 different times. Our vehicles were designed to take the hits, but of course your body, majority of your body is water, so when these huge explosions go off and blow your truck to pieces and you're able to walk away, it causes a lot of damage to your body. But none of us wanted to claim a Purple Heart because we wanted to continue mission. We wanted to continue to do what we did. For me, people would be like, oh, I can't believe you would keep going in that lead truck and keep doing what you're doing. But they don't understand. If I say, nope, I no longer want to be in that vehicle and put someone else in there, and then they go out and die and get killed, that would be my guilt of living with that. I think it was around my 5th explosion that I was having a hard time focusing. You only can go through so many concussions, and your brain shuts down, like I found out after my last explosion. And so they were trying to put me in different vehicles, trying to get my brain a rest. And they hated that. My job is to be in that lead truck. I'm not supposed to be back here. And the lead truck would end up getting hit on a mission, and they'd come to me that night and be like, hey, we know we're trying to pull you out of that truck, but the other guys got hit and we need to put someone back up front. Who would you recommend? Pick me. I'm ready to go out. That's what we do. Somebody had broken concrete up down this whole section of road, and we radioed back saying, I can hardly see anything right now because someone's crushed concrete blocks and spread them throughout the road. So I guarantee there's something here. This didn't just happen. This is definitely an ambush situation. The TC, the track commander in the passenger side, noticed there was an explosive device disguised as a bush. So I hurried through the vehicle in reverse and just floored it as hard as I could to get back up. They obviously noticed that we had seen it, and they detonated it, taking out the right side tires and a couple of windows, in the vehicle got broke. But yet we all, survived it. We radioed back, and I told them, the vehicle, I can still drive it. I do not want to hook up here in this kill zone, because I still feel there was so much work into this that there's going to be another bomb or something in this area. And so they brought some little vehicles around me that are called Huskies. They have a mine detector on them. And they brought those vehicles in ahead of me, scanned the whole road in front to detect any more IEDs, bombs on the road. They called it clear, said, we didn't pick up anything, you should be good. I put the vehicle in drive with the flat tires on the vehicle, started driving forward, and we got hit by plastic landmines that the Huskies wouldn't pick up. What's interesting is when you have a brain injury, I didn't feel there was anything wrong with me. And I'd go do the doctor's test, and I couldn't pass their test. When I go to one doctor, and she says, I'll send you back to Iraq in a heartbeat if you can answer these 4 questions. And as hard as I tried, and my brain was scrambling around looking for the answers, and I look back at that, and it just was so difficult. It's hard. After 2 tours in Iraq, and you live with the guys you're serving with day in and day out, and then you get removed from that. It weighs in heavy. It was very difficult. And as I got home and going through more, I was in the hospital down in Texas for roughly 3 months, and then years of recovery after that. And my mom, she says, do you ever regret volunteering and going back over for that second tour? And I said, no, Mom, I'd do it in a heartbeat again, because the lives we saved from pulling those bombs off the road was so rewarding. You're responsible for so many people, and I'm just glad that the bomb hit my truck and took me out, not someone else that day, because if they wouldn't have chose to set both those IEDs off on me that day and would have hit someone else and possibly killed them, that would have been very difficult to live with.
When Josh was hit by his 8th IED, I was at home with our daughter Trinity, and I received a call from the military letting me know that Josh had been medevaced to Germany. It was during that time that we actually got the call from the Utah foster care system asking us if we would take in a little 6-week-old baby boy. I can tell you right now how amazing Josh is, because I was able to call him and talk to him about this little boy, and his response was, even though he was struggling with this brain injury and could hardly even process information, his response was, if that little boy needs a home, we are his home. And that's how we have our 12-year-old son now. I didn't realize the extent of what his injuries were, the traumatic brain injury. It was when I arrived at the hospital in Texas and I saw him across the parking lot. And in my mind, I had this big reunion where, the man and the woman run at each other and give a big hug. But that's not what happened. What I saw was a shell of my husband, and I don't know if I've even talked to him about it, but he wasn't there. He was loving. He did give me a hug. He was loving. He was excited to see our daughter, but emotionally, he was gone. And that was the first day of our next couple of years with Josh recovering from his injuries.
I had some real dark days, and never leaving the house, never getting outside, never moving. And the more I stayed locked up in the house, my mind would start playing tricks on me by, you get too deep in thought. And I was going down a bad road. I was on the road of thinking of suicide, thought if I died by suicide, it'd be so much easier for my wife, my kids, because I felt like such a burden on the family. And during that time, one of my soldiers died by suicide. That was my wake-up call that I needed to do something to help. I led them during the war. We need to do that here at home and take care of one another. And that was my slap on the face to say, okay, you're suffering post-traumatic stress, you have the TBI, you have all these physical injuries and chronic pain that I can keep using as excuses to never leave the home, or I can show others that we can work past this and help one another. And the best thing to me was getting outside, getting out in nature, exercising, and working through all my pain and struggles. And that's why today we started a nonprofit. I'm the co-founder of Continue Mission, which is Continue Mission in Life and Healing, taking care of one another here at home and saving lives and supporting one another. And that was my turning point, was losing one of my guys. And I didn't want to do that, have that ever happen again. And how could we change things to take care of one another here at home?